Liliano, you are here with Eddie Hearn. Eddie, you and Canelo got a little bromance going on.
Yeah.
You guys hug, you guys got a little bromance.
Yeah.
Was any part of you a little scared that he was going to choose to go without Heyman again?
Yeah, it was difficult, the last fight, because we had a plan that he would be undisputed. And he boxed Callum Smith, he boxed Billy Joe Saunders, and I didn't have Caleb Plant. And I was like, hopefully Caleb Plant will take the offer to come to DAZN. PBC wouldn't allow that to happen. So Saul had to go over to PBC, steal the belt, and then come back to us. And I did 3 fights with him, and it was just such a tremendous experience that when he went to PBC, I was like, I really hope we get him back, and we got him back, and it feels great because even forget what it means to the company, forget the money, just on a personal level, it's the energy. Do you know what I mean? It's like it's about
Mexican
being
fans
around.
too.
Yeah, but Mexican fans.
Mexicans and UK fans are
very
like
similar.
the atmosphere.
Very similar.
Crazy.
Very knowledgeable. Very passionate. But it's also just about being around winners. It's just a great feeling. So yeah, it was a big moment for us, and I don't hide the fact that I'm a big Canelo Alvarez fanboy. Do you know what I mean? I don't.
Dimitri's mom didn't like that.
But I'm honest, because she said to me, "Who has he fought?" I said, "Who has he fought? Are you serious? This guy has fought. Look at the resume. He's champion after champion after champion, and now he's doing it again. And if you know Canelo Alvarez would never say to me, Eddie Reynoso would never say to me, let's take that fight because it's easier, or let's try and find an easy fight, or we've just had a tough fight, so let's have an easier one. They just want challenges, and they should be applauded for that.
But what do you say to that? The criticism you get for people who say you pick Canelo over a guy in your stable, like Andre?
Because Andre doesn't have anything to offer Canelo Alvarez. Andre is a middleweight world champion who would step up effectively and challenge Canelo Alvarez. So Canelo Alvarez looks at that and says, no, I want to face a champion and take his belt off him. So I'd rather go to light heavyweight and fight Dimitri Bivol. You can't really criticise, when you talk about Demetrius Andrade and Dimitri Bivol, it's different styles, but you've got one guy's at 175. So Canelo is having to go up in weight and take on a much bigger guy, a much bigger puncher, a much stronger guy. And you've got Demetrius Andrade, who is a brilliant technician, very tricky, very difficult to beat. So it's just I think sometimes Canelo feels like when he was coming through, he had to fight all these guys that probably people, so why don't you go and fight someone? And it's not Demetrius's fault. Demetrius will fight all those guys, but they don't want to fight him. And then what happens is, Canelo looks at people like Charlo, looks at people like Benavidez, looks at people like Andrade and goes, look, I'll fight you, but I'd quite like you to go and fight someone and prove your worth, because I had to prove my worth. Do you know what I mean? But you can never keep everybody happy. I just feel that you can't criticise a guy that's just consistently fighting elite champions.
So it was Canelo who came to you and asked for the Bivol fight?
No, he asked for the options, and we presented it to him, and it was him who chose.
Okay, now, Bivol was not one of those big mouth guys, Charlo, but Benavidez doesn't talk bad, but he does express, interest in that fight. Bivol has expressed interest, but he's not been crazy mouth,
We represent Bivol, so for years.
Yeah, but I think my question is, what do you feel how did he take it? How did Bivol take it when he's not the guy being a loudmouth and he got the fight?
Just respect, really. Respect to Canelo, because not a lot of people would choose Bivol in this situation. An unbeaten young fighter in their prime at light heavyweight. It's a very difficult fight. He was over the moon. We've worked with him for 4 years, Dimitri Bivol. He's been crying out for this opportunity. He nearly got it once before, and he never felt it would present itself, because he felt like, look, I don't think that Canelo would fight me, because I'm bigger, I'm fast, I'm technically good, I can punch. And then when he got the fight, he couldn't believe it, So this is dangerous, because he's going to do everything he can to win. He's a very good fighter.
Now, the rumors when Canelo left both Golden Boy and the contract with DAZN was that it had to do something with you guys trying to force a Triple G fight. Why now he's like, okay, I want it, if those were the rumors?
Could be many different reasons. Money, timing, relationships. Sometimes you have to handle these situations delicately. One thing I've seen is a lot of animosity between Canelo and Triple G, and you'll see that. If this fight happens, obviously both guys have got to win. You'll see that in the build-up. I think it's going to be really interesting. Golovkin feels like he won both fights. Canelo feels like he won both fights. Canelo would really like to take him out in style, and Golovkin will do everything he can to win that fight by knockout next time. So, you know, I've got my fingers crossed that both guys can win and we get to see really the biggest fight in boxing in September.
Now, about the animosity, do you feel like Canelo did hold it off a little bit because he is being petty? Like, no, I'm not going to give you payday Triple G weight. Do you think that was his pettiness?
Maybe you can perceive that, but when you saw how easily we made the fight, not really, because doing business with Canelo Alvarez is really simple. Really simple. There you go.
See you.
Just talking about you again. All right,
See you
soon,
this-
yeah?
you
Saturday, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
You didn't hug him this time.
I did. We had a little hug. Yeah, we had a little hug. Yeah. Doing business with him is really simple. Like even today, I was just saying. I said to him, with a press conference, do you want a platform? Do you want? He's like, whatever.
He's like,
Do you know
put
what I
me
mean?
on a computer chair.
Yeah, but honestly, like you can't underestimate how many people in boxing are like, no, I want this. I want it like that. He's just like, and that's why I know he'll fight anybody. So when I said to him, I said, I think you should fight Dmitry Bivol, and we should look at undisputed at 175, and I think we should look at Gennady Golovkin. No problem. It was never like, I'm not fighting Gennady. I'm not giving him an opportunity. I'm not doing this. It was just like, if that's what you think and the deal's right and it's exciting, let's do it.
Now, December, you mentioned, possibly going to 175 for all the belts there. But would Boo Boo be maybe? So Boo Boo's completely out of the question because of the weight?
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, at the moment, he's fighting Dmitry Bivol, he's fighting Gennady Golovkin, and then he's not going to move to
Back to 160.
no, he's going to go to cruiserweight to fight Makabu, or he's going to probably face his mandatory if he wants to hold on to his belts. But I don't think we've got a pure plan for December, only that Eddie Reynoso's told me to start making plans to do an international fight in December.
Lastly, because I know you got my boy Steven over here, this Saturday.
Yeah.
Chocolatita. I love Estrada, so I was like hoping, but what a replacement.
I know.
Usually
And
you get
know
guys
what?
who are like, oh, here's
It's like
whoever.
We've done really well on the tickets for Estrada and Chocolatito. When you go somewhere, like I've never done a show in San Diego before, but gut feeling tells me that would be a good spot, right? Anyway, tickets were flying for Estrada, and then we announced Martinez, and we said to everybody, look, if you want a refund, like we understand. Anyway, no one got refunds, and we sold a load more tickets. So I think people like, the best fight I've ever seen live is Estrada against Chocolatito too. But this fight is different. Like this fight, I have no idea what's going to happen. Is Martinez going to go out there and knock Chocolatito out cold? Is Chocolatito going to school him? Like, I mean,
Either scenario.
I know,
sounds
yeah.
amazing.
But
Who do you got though?
I think that if it goes past 7 or 8, I think Chocolatito becomes a big favourite in the fight. But I think early on, Martinez is going to throw the absolute kitchen sink at Chocolatito. And unfortunately for Chocolatito, we've seen him flattened. You know, we saw him flattened by Rungbasai. We've seen him knocked out before. But he looks really good. Like I've seen him at the Fight Hotel and he looks really, really fresh.
All right. Thank you so much, Eddie. Appreciate your time. Oh, shit, what's that?
Do you want to do a huddle?